Do you like soccer or football?
Aren't they the same thing?
No.
Oh, well, I'm not very good at sports. I preferred Star Trek.
Okay, Uncle, I am ready to work.
Oh, hi, Abu.
Oh, hello, Nerd Eye. Nice to see you. Do you know this man? Oh, yes, we play video games together. Is he a racist? Oh, no, Uncle. He is not a racist. He's a scientist. What do you want?
Oh, just give me one of those easy picks.
That would be $2.
Oh, okay, here you go.
Here's your damn ticket. Now get out of my store.
All right, I'll see you next time.
You're listening to the Joe Lebang Show.
It's a hell of a good time, isn't it? There's that mainstream media doing it again, twisting everybody's hearts and minds into believing that all of a sudden now, because Trump is cracking down on illegal aliens, that we're all of a sudden, as a country, separating kids from their parents who are criminals, mind you, for bringing the kids across the border illegally into the country. All of a sudden now, it's Trump's fault. Obama administration did the same thing. The Bush administration did the same damn thing. We didn't hear about it during the Obama administration, did we? There were pictures. You can go to the Daily Caller. They've posted them again for you if you want to see them. The exact same looking pictures as the ones that are being displayed throughout the mainstream media to somehow demonize Donald Trump's administration as if they were the ones who created this mess in the first place. But yet the mainstream public gobbled it up because they didn't want to pay attention back 4 or 5 years ago. They didn't want to pay attention to that, probably because a lot of them voted for Obama, and they couldn't believe that Obama would do such a thing, although the evidence is there. All you have to do is go look. And because every administration, every Congress has shuffled aside these people coming in, found ways to absorb them into the population, to translate them, to move them here, to do whatever, to just keep themselves in office, we now have a problem that is out of control. And why? Because we won't handle the main issue. The most pressing issue in this whole thing is the border and how porous it is. And until we get that locked down, we are never going to solve the problem of too many people coming into this country, having to arrest the people that came in illegally, then having children being either separated or not separated because now Trump has bowed to the pressure. Right or wrong, you see, I'm not for putting these kids through any hardship. It's a horrible thing. But it's not Trump's fault. It's not even the Bush administration's fault. It's not the Obama administration's fault, although they may have the most blame to go around. It is the parents' fault. The people who are trekking these kids all the way, some from as far as Central and South America, trekking these poor children all the way up to the United States. And you hear the claim of refugee status. And it's the children, the children, the children. The mainstream manufactured news are using these children as propaganda tools because nothing else they've done has been able to damage Trump in any significant way. And again, we're going to still have this problem. Whether it's a month from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if we don't tackle the main problem, and that is the porous border. We have to lock it down before we can solve the problem of what kids who get taken away from what parents who are illegal and criminally here. Just the other day on the news, a lady was convicted because she had left her child. Here is a citizen of the United States because she had left her child in a car while she went shopping. Now, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if you're telling me that that is a much more dangerous thing than trekking your kid from South America all the way to the U.S. through every back road, through every desert, mud-infested forest, badlands, waterways, whatever it is. If the person who leaves their kid in a car to go shopping can go to jail for a long time, be separated from that child for that same duration, if not longer, then why are we giving a pass to these people who the first thing they did was illegally enter the country? While they were illegally entering, until they get into some safe zone where they can find some rest, they're taking these kids through all these dangerous lands, through tunnels, through forests, through desert plains. So when I hear that it's the Trump administration who's at fault for this, when they are only reacting to the criminal activity brought on by the parents. That's all the government does, is react. Something happens, they try to fix it. And if you're going to scrutinize the Trump administration for the way they're handling the separation of children from their parents, then you have to scrutinize the Obama administration and the Bush administration. But we don't want to do that because right now it's Donald Trump in office. And what'd he do? He bowed to the pressure and signed an executive order, as if we don't have enough of those. See, the only thing the Trump administration is doing differently than the Obama administration is cracking down harder and faster and not encouraging the people to come. Because I know a lot of people want to forget this, but I don't know, right around 2012 or so, maybe a little after that, we found out that the Obama administration was pretty much encouraging people from South America and Central America to trek all the way up to the United States. Don't believe it? Go Google that. And don't listen to Snopes, and don't go to the first few links. Take some time and read about 20 or 30 articles. If you can handle that. I know people's attention spans aren't that long. But give it a try. You might actually find out that what you think you know isn't entirely accurate. And if you're listening to the show, that should be a common theme that we try to get across to you. You should understand that by now if you're a regular listener. Don't listen to the first thing you hear. Check and double check and triple check. Make sure that what you triple check was right. And always assume you can be deceived. Because once you think you know it all, once you think you have all the answers, you don't have any answers. You're going to get it wrong. You're going to get it wrong every time. Because you're blinded. You're living in this bubble that you don't want to get out. And many people don't want to get out of that bubble. But if we're going to deal with this crisis of illegal immigration and detaining these people and figuring out what to do with them, and if you ask me, they are endangering their children far worse than a lady who leaves her kids sitting in a car at your local Target. And if we're going to incarcerate her for years, then we better do something at least equally as drastic to these parents. And now what are we going to do with all these children that we have? There's 2,000 plus that are currently separated that they're going to try to reunite. You know, it's only a big deal right now, folks. It wasn't a big deal in 2014. Nobody talked about it. It wasn't a big deal in 2015 or 2013. Nobody cared to talk about it. The news agencies that did post the pictures of these children in cages. See, there's an outrage there because kids are sleeping in these cage areas. But nobody thinks this through. They just get outraged, right? What do you expect the government to do? So they arrest the parents. You really don't want to stick the kids in with the parents because the parents are in these big rooms and there's a lot of men, a lot of different men in those rooms. You get gangs in those rooms, especially from these South American countries. You know, nobody thinks about this. You stick the kids in with their parents and these parents are in these rooms with other parents and people who aren't parents who are big thugs that they arrested because they're trying to process all these people. Nobody's thinking of this. So you stick them in this room, and then a bunch of thugs who are the badasses of the room decide to take the kids and do with them as they will. And if the parents intervene, they get killed. And by the time any guards get there, it's going to be too late because they're shorthanded. You can see they're shorthanded. You know, people don't think these through. You can't stick the kids in the same cells as the adults because there are far worse adults than the parents that brought them, that endangered these children. Do you want to endanger them more? The first child that got abused by a person who wasn't the father, wasn't the mother, in a giant cell where they kept everybody, that all hell would break loose then too. Nobody thinks of that. Everybody's emotional. Everybody goes off the handle, not thinking this stuff through. You have to separate the kids to protect them. And you have to put them in some kind of protected area. It looks like a cage because that's the cheapest thing they can afford. They don't have the money to put everybody in a 4-star hotel. It may look bad, but the kids are a lot safer by themselves than they are in a room with a bunch of adults. And most of the adults that come, maybe not the parents, but most of the adults that are coming around aren't the nice guys. That group with the guys who have the tattoos all over the face, MS-13, you've heard of them, right? Those murderers and killers. Well, when you separate the kids from the adults, you also separate the kids from those people because they don't have individual cells. They don't have the accommodations to house so many people individually in their nice little, welcome to America.
Welcome to America. We know you came in illegally. Listen. We're going to stick you in a 4-star hotel while you're here. You can stay as long as you want because we're not going to prosecute you because we don't care that you broke the law. The only people we care about who break the law are the actual citizens of the country. So stay in a 4-star hotel. Enjoy all the luxuries we can give you on the taxpayer's expense for as long as you want. And don't worry about it.
That's the mentality some people think. They don't think this through. They just, the poor children, ooh. They're saving the children from the muggers and the killers that are in the adult cages. Because they're in big cages. They're not individually locked up. They don't have the room for that. God, gotta take a quick break. Be right back.
Don't move a muscle. John Lebang Show, right back.
With lots of fun and excitement. Yes. CRRM, CarePoint Billing Services. Their billers and managers are all dedicated to working for you to increase your profits. For more information, call CRRM at 248-579-3805. CRRM, CarePoint Billing Services.
Hey, man, it's at the bottom of the hour, man. Do you know where your kids are, man?
If you want to contact the John Lebang Show, feel free to send an email to jlebang@live.com. And if you're on Twitter, look him up at John Lebang. And don't forget to go to his Facebook page at The John Lebang Show. Now here's John.
And then we have the presidential candidate for Mexico, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, calling for mass immigration to the United States during a speech Tuesday declaring it's a human right for all North Americans. He continues, and soon, very soon, after the victory of our movement, we will defend all the immigrants in the American continent and all the migrants in the world. All the migrants in the world. He added, immigrants must leave their towns and find a life in the United States. He then declared it's a human right he will defend. It's a human right, ladies and gentlemen, to break into a country at your northern border. It's getting to be ridiculous. This entire border issue is out of hand. It's a human rights issue